Hello everybody, it's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. I'm so glad you guys could stop by for my new video. Hey, today we're going to be talking about how to create a really great friendship card, and this is a fun fold card. I've got easy to follow steps for creating this really fantastic card with a couple unique folds to it. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one, the simplicity of it, yet the unique design. Are you ready to learn how? All right, well, let's go get started.
Friendship cards are great, right? We can use them for so many occasions. We're going to create this fun fold card today. So you can see it's got just a little accordion on the side, and then we can open up our card and we've got a great place to write our message. Really kind of is a little more over the top, but you know what? It's a very simple card. So we're going to create this one today, but stick around. I've got another card version of the fun fold I'll show you at the end of the video. My card base is in fresh freesia, and this is 5.5 by 8.5, and I have done two scores. I've got a score line at 2 1/8 and a score line at 4 1/4. You're going to need another piece of fresh freesia, and guys, this one is it really is just a scrap. It's about 2 inches by 3.5 inches. You're going to need two pieces of designer series paper. These are 2 inches by 5 3/8. You're going to need two pieces of basic white. So this is, again, just a scrap. I'm going to say it's about a 2 by 3, maybe 1 3/4. This one here this is for the inside of the card. It is cut 4 inches by 10.5, scored at 5 1/4. And again, that's for the inside where we're going to write our message. The flower that's going to go in the front, I just need a couple squares. These are 2 by 2, but they can just be some scrap Granny Apple Green and Blushing Bride. The star of my card is the True Beauty stamp set, and I'm going to be using the bundle. The bundle is optional. I'm going to die cut one of the flowers, but if you'd rather just stamp it, if you don't have the bundle, that's fine. Of course, you could use your favorite stamp set here as well. I just love the watercolor look of this particular stamp set. Now, all right, I have adhered the two pieces of designer series paper here to the flaps of my fresh freesia cardstock. Now that that's done, we are now ready to do some stamping. I'm going to start here. I've got a Granny Apple Green ink pad, and I'm going to take the leaves from the True Beauty. I'm going to just stamp those right there in the center of my 2 by 2. Now you can see why it is just a scrap. Now a Flirty Flamingo ink pad. This is going to look really, really nice with the colors that I have going on in that designer series paper. So when you go to choose your colors, you're just going to want to highlight, again, what is going on in your designer series paper. So I have that stamped. While I've got my Flirty Flamingo out, let's get our sentiment. You are a true friend. And we're going to stamp that right there in the center of that basic white. All right, time to bring in those dies. And these are the Scalloped Contours dies. I absolutely love these. I'm all about scallops. And we're going to use the two smallest ones, all right? That's what we're going to be using from the collection. Again, if you don't have these, if you've got another rectangle die, or of course, you could just cut your rectangles, whatever works best for you. And let me just lay these out for you. So there is our scalloped contour, the second to the largest, or from the smallest, forgive me. There is our smallest die. Now for these two, we'll bring in the flower and the leaves. All right, my friends, I'm going to take this over to my die cutting machine. We're going to die cut all of this.
Not to worry if you've missed any of the measurements for the card, because I've got a free download for you. That download's going to have everything you need so that you can recreate this card. You're going to have the measurements, the supply list, a link back to this video if you need a quick refresher on how to put the card together, and of course a place you can order any of the supplies. I'd love to be your Stampin' Up demonstrator. All that is there for your free download, and you can find that at SimplySimpleStamping.com, or you can look down in the YouTube description. I've got a direct link to today's post where you can see everything about today's card and, of course, get your free download. All right, with that, let me show you how we're going to take these pieces and put our card together.
Those have all been cut. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and adhere my sentiment right here in the center of my fresh freesia. And I'm going to go ahead and take my leaves and I'm going to attach those here onto the flower. So just pick a petal, any petal, and we will add our leaves. All right, now those are ready. I did forget, we do want to stamp the inside of our card, so let's switch back to our stamping. All right, let's take that card base and we're going to bring in our Flirty Flamingo and our Granny Apple Green. Now this time I'm going to use the big leafy stem, okay? So we'll stamp that right down here in the bottom left corner. Stamp your flower on top of that. We're going to add a little sentiment in here. And we're just going to put this at an angle and say, here for you always. And guess what? It's time to put our card together. Now that we have all that done, we're going to put some adhesive here on the back of our card that goes here on the inside. I want to make sure I'm putting that in correctly. We'll add that right here to this panel. I'm going to take my flower. That's going to go down here in the bottom right corner. Now, I will tell you, you guys know I love to use dimensionals, but I am not going to use dimensionals on this card because it's got some layers, and I think I'm going to let it kind of be as is. Now, our sentiment is going to go like this. So we want to avoid adhesive here. So I'm only going to put adhesive on one side. I don't want to make sure I get plenty, but I want to make sure I'm only halfway on my card. And another tip I always like to give when I'm doing this type of project is just lightly tap it on there. And I'm just going to verify I don't have any adhesive hanging over. And I don't, so I can give that a press. Guys, there's that part of my card. Let's add a bow because I think it just needs a little bow. And for my bow, I'm going to use the Sweet Sorbet metallic ribbon. This is so pretty. And you know what I love about it is the color. This is Sweet Sorbet, but it goes with so many other papers because look how pretty it looks with my Blushing Bride and my Flirty Flamingo. It's awesome. Now to adhere this, I'm going to use a mini glue dot, but the center of my bow, the knot there in my bow is very tiny. So my trick is this. We're going to take a mini glue dot, put it on our finger, and we're going to roll it into a tiny ball. You don't want to overwork it because we don't want it to lose its stickiness. But I'm going to put that mini glue dot right here in the corner. And now I will come along with my bow. Give it a really good press. We don't want our bow coming off. And by the way, you notice I have some really nice long tails. I think that adds a little something to my card. But look how pretty that looks on my Fun Fold card. I love it. Now, I promised you another card. Let me share my other version. This one is made with an online exclusive. You're not going to find this one in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. This one can be found online. This is the Irresistible Blooms. I Like You. By the way, you notice I still used my scallop contours dies. I just thought they worked perfectly. My flower, a lot of it's the same. This is a piece of 6x6 designer series paper, so I was able to cut that down easily. There's the inside of my card. I couldn't be happier to have you as a friend. Did my stamping on the inside, guys. Such an easy fold. And of course, I have made lots and lots and lots of these cards. I'm going to be sharing these with a special Stampin' Up! Event that I'm going to be going to this weekend. And so this was the card I designed for their swap. And my friends, it really is a fun one. I just had to share it with you. I hope that you'll give this one a try. Keep in mind, your sentiment can be anything. Your designer series paper can be anything. Your image you put down here, you could stamp it or you could die cut it, and of course anything here on the inside. Get creative with your stamps. Have some fun creating this really amazing fun fold.
I hope that you all enjoyed that card. If you did, would you give me a thumbs up on YouTube? I always appreciate that. And if you have not subscribed, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel? Click the subscribe button. YouTube will let you know whenever I'm back with a new video, and I share twice a week here on the channel. We'd love to have you join us. That's all for me, everybody. Go create those cards, share them with people that you love, and brighten their day. I can't wait to stamp with you next time, guys. Bye-bye.